Find the given limits. Part A, the limit as x approaches infinity of 1 over x. We have only looked at limits as x approaches a specific number. However, now we're going to look at limits as x approaches infinity and negative infinity. Whenever we find limits as x approaches infinity, we want to see the behavior of the function at really large values. And whenever we are computing the limit as x approaches negative infinity, we are wanting to see what is happening to the function as we have very small values. So for part A, we can either use the table method that we have been using, or we can use a graph. Let's look at a table first. So we're going to pick some large x values, so we can try 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000. And if we substitute them in for 1 over x, notice what's happening to those values. We have 0.02, 0.01, 0.001, 0.0001. So as the x values are growing, our 1 over x values are getting smaller. And they are actually approaching a value which is 0. So the limit as x approaches infinity of 1 over x is 0. We can also look at a graph of 1 over x. Since we want the limit as x approaches infinity, we need to look at the behavior on the right of the graph. So what is happening as the x's values go to the right? Notice that the function values keep decreasing and decreasing, and they approach 0. Part B, the limit as x approaches negative infinity of 1 over x. So now instead of our x values getting larger, we're going to make them get smaller. So we're going to use negative values that are very large. You can use a table to find this limit. So one x value that we could use could be negative 50, and then negative 100, negative 1,000, negative 10,000. Now as we substitute these x values into 1 over x, for negative 50 we get negative 0.02, then negative 0.01, negative 0.001, negative 0.0001. So as these x values are getting really small or getting really big in the negative direction, the 1 over x values are approaching 0. So the limit is 0. Now let's find the limit from a graph. Since we want the limit as x approaches negative infinity, we need to look at the function behavior as we approach the left side of the graph. And you will see that as these values approach the left or get smaller, the function value is approaching 0.